everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. So pre-apologies because I am wearing the same outfit I wore last video because like I said in that video I was going to be pre-filming this video because as this video goes up I am going to be at a concert and yesterday I was working. So yeah, didn't feel like changing my clothes, so I'm wearing this still. For this video, you guys, I am so excited because I created my very own book tag and I had a lot of inspiration for this video based off of some of my very favorite movies because for this video I am going to be doing what I'm calling the John Hughes book tag. So basically what I'm doing for this video, because I absolutely love John Hughes. For those of you that don't know, John Hughes is the creator of a lot of really popular movies from the 80s, like The Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. And those are actually my 3 favorite movies of like all time. And so I decided to pick 10 of his most popular movies or most known movies, and each one of them is related to a question that relates to a book. It's going to be kind of hard to tag people for this because I know a lot of people don't know who John Hughes is, and I know a lot of people don't really watch movies from the 80s very much anymore, even though they're amazing and you guys need to get on my level with this. But I'm going to do this because I really want to do something like this for a long time. I feel like this tag really represents who I am as a person with the books combined with the 80s, and it's just, it's totally me. And I really hope you guys like this because it took me a while to come up with this idea and the questions that I came up with. So if you're interested in doing this video, please do it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's just get on with the questions. Question 1. The Breakfast Club, a book with an eclectic cast of characters. It's no surprise for any of you guys that I'm going to pick the Mortal Instruments. I love all of the unique characters in this series and all of the series that are from the Shadowhunters world. Each character is so different. They have different personalities and different backstories and different looks and different opinions. And all of them combined with their banter and all of the sass and sarcasm is just really cool because like The Breakfast Club, they start out where they seem completely different to you, but you realize by the end that everyone's kind of like a family. They're all really good friends and it's great. So yeah, the Mortal Instruments for The Breakfast Club, which by the way I did as my first question because that is my favorite movie of all time. If you've never watched that movie, you need to. Question 2. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a book with your favorite troublemaker. For this, I am going to go with Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. I really love Travis Maddox. That's his last name, right? Yeah, Maddox. He is a fighter in this book. And yeah, so really like him. This book is so good. So good. Definitely a quick read. I read this in like one sitting, I think. But I really like Travis. He has a lot of trouble, but you just like, you hate him and you love him all at the same time, but like you love to hate him and you hate to love him. You know what I mean? I don't know. He's pretty cool. So yeah, this is for my Ferris Bueller's Day Off pick for favorite troublemaker. Question 3. 16 Candles, a light-hearted funny read. For this, I'm going with anything by Stephanie Perkins. All of her books are super lighthearted, they're super cute, they're super funny, they're like very silly. All the characters have really silly parts or lines, whatever. But yeah, I feel like almost any kind of cute contemporary would be a good answer for this question. Question 4. Pretty in Pink, your favorite pink book cover. For this question, I am going to go with my Barnes & Noble copy of Alice in Wonderland because this thing is leather bound and it's shiny and like embossed and gorgeous, and it has the gold gilded edges, and this is one of my prized possessions, you guys, because I started recently collecting copies of Alice in Wonderland. I only have 2, maybe 3, but this is my favorite and my like prettiest purchase so far. I do want to get more, but this one is definitely my prettiest pink book. So yeah, pretty pink book. Question 5. Home Alone, a book you would read on a lazy day at home. For this, I am going to go with Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I know that most of you know that I wasn't the biggest fan of this book in the entire world, but I thought it was pretty good. And the reason why I picked this one for the book that I would read on a day at home is because I'm pretty sure I read this in 1 or 2 sittings, and I'm pretty sure I read it on a day that I stayed home. Just because it's a mystery thriller type book, and I feel like those are really fast paced. So those are normally the ones I feel like I like to read whenever I stay at home and I don't have to worry about continuing on with the book after that day, and you can just have a fun day of reading an entire book because normally it's fun and entertaining. So yeah, this is a book I would definitely read on a day that I stayed home. Question 6. Weird Science, a strange book that you've read. For this, I am picking The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. This book was kind of strange to me. It was supposed to be based off of, hold on. Oh, there's a specific book, like something about Monroe's Island. Regardless, this is supposed to be based off of a classic that I had never read, so I feel like when I read this it was kind of strange to me, about a girl and her crazy dad and an island and some science experiments. The whole premise was kind of weird. I think it would have been a little less weird if I had read the classic first, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just a really weird concept, I feel like. Question 7. National Lampoon's Vacation, your favorite book to bring on a road trip. For this, I'm kind of going with just the overall basic answer of a contemporary. My top pick would probably be Morgan Matson because her books are just like super quick to read contemporaries, and she does have the one about the road trip. But somebody else that has a road trip book that isn't bad is John Green. This isn't the book that I'm talking about. The book I'm talking about is Paper Towns. This is An Abundance of Catherine. This is the only book by him I have yet to read, which I think I mentioned in my book unhaul, but I had a friend convince me to keep this, so I am going to read this. But like I said with Morgan Matson, they're just easy to read contemporaries. I'm sure you all have read The Fault in Our Stars. If you watch my videos and have read anything by John Green, it was probably The Fault in Our Stars first. But I actually really like his books. They're just easy to read contemporaries. Like I said, there's really not much else to say about it, but they would be a good book to bring on a car ride or even a plane ride. But yeah, because they're always short. They're kind of cheesy, but they're pretty good. So, question 8. 101 Dalmatians, a beloved childhood classic. For this, of course, I am picking my beloved Nancy Drew books. For those of you that have watched some of my videos before, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned a couple times that I collect these Nancy Drew books because I've read them since I was little, and whenever I was little I wanted to grow up and be Nancy Drew, even though that's kind of an embarrassing thing to admit. But I collect all of these editions. I don't have all of the whole series. I don't even remember which ones I own at this point, but I probably own like 20 of them, 25 of them maybe. But I love them so much. If you didn't read these as a kid, you were totally missing out. These are definitely my favorite childhood books. Question 9. Miracle on 34th Street, a book that filled you with wonder and amazement. This answer for me is going to seem a little bit strange to most of you watching because my answer for this is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And I picked this book because I remember this being like the first actual like classic that I ever read besides like The Giver when I read that in 3rd grade. And I remember feeling so crazy when I fell so in love with this book because Louisa May Alcott had some kind of crazy magical writing skills to be able to make little old me fall so into a story and fall so in love with characters and just feel like you were part of the story. It was one of the very first times I had ever experienced something like that before. And I definitely contribute a lot of my love for reading to this book, as well as a few others that I've mentioned before. But this one definitely still fills me with wonder and amazement at how just great it is and how relatable it is. So I'm going to pick this one. And finally, question number 10, Maid in Manhattan, a book with a couple that you rooted for from the start. I'm not gonna say anything. No spoilers here, I promise you guys. I feel like this book was the reason that I decided to make this tag. If you guys have read this, you will understand. And if not, you need to read this. You need to read The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices, like I say in every single video, you guys. So that's it, everybody, for my John Hughes book tag. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you don't know who John Hughes is, you should definitely look into him and into his movies because he was a true genius. He is one of my favorite people of all time. He did amazing things, and I feel like all of his movies had a huge impact on my life. So you should watch the movies, you should enjoy them as much as I do. You should do this tag. You should leave a comment down below if you've watched any of his movies and which one's your favorite. You should give the video a thumbs up. All of my links are down below. And I really appreciate you guys watching, so thanks. Bye.